Hi everybody, welcome back. On this tutorial here, in this video, I want to explain to you what Bootstrap really is before we continue any further. That way you can have a very solid foundation on what Bootstrap really is. All right. Now they do have an official definition of what Bootstrap is, and it's what they say that it is a mobile first responsive design framework, and they're right, it is. And they also say that it is used to make static websites and dynamic web application. And it really is. This is what the definition is. But for some of you out there that still a little confused about what really is, I want to give you a better explanation. I think it's way better than this definition right here. So for me, my definition of Bootstrap is just a bunch of files and folders that we link to use. That's what it is. Now, those files and folders have certain functionalities that we're going to be using in our applications and documents, but that's what the general explanation for me really is. Now, I want to show you the picture on how the Bootstrap folders are structured. Right? So we download the Bootstrap, right, folders, and it's first going to come in a main file. I don't know, maybe in the future they might change it, but right now when you download it, you're going to get a main folder that is going to be called dist, and this stands for distribution. Now, you're inside this distribution folder, you're going to have other folders. You're going to have fonts, you're going to have CSS, and you're going to have JS. All right. Inside the fonts folder, you're going to have glyphicons, and these are just icons that you use in Bootstrap, and I'll show you later on how they work, but they're really cool. All right. And inside the CSS folder, you're going to have a couple files. One of them, the main one, is called bootstrap.css. Now, keep in mind that also in the glyphicons, in the fonts folder, you're going to have many different glyphicon files, and they're all the same. They just have different extensions to make them work in different environments. But don't worry about that right now. But so anyways, in the CSS folder, you're going to have the bootstrap.css, and you're going to have bootstrap.css, that means CSS also, which is the minified version. But keep in mind that just bootstrap.css is the main file that all our classes are going to be in there. This is where all our styles are going to be included in. So in the bootstrap.css is where you're going to have all the properties of the class, all the classes defined with the properties, and those classes are the ones that we're going to be using in our applications or HTML documents or whatever other documents we use. Inside the JS folder, we are going to have the bootstrap.js file or the bootstrap.min.js, which is the same as the minified version of this file. Basically, minified means that it's very small, it's compressed. That way it has no spaces, and it's smaller than this regular file. But anyway, this is the main file. And here you're going to find all the JavaScript functions there. All right. So now when we want to link to Bootstrap, all we got to do is we open our applications or a document. For example, in this case, it's going to be an HTML document, right? So it could be example.html. We make one, and then we link it. All right. And we link it mostly by including a link tag on our document or application. Link tag. And then once we link it, we usually link it to the CSS folder, and then from there we can also use a script tag and also link the JS folder. All right, so not from there, but you link it to the CSS folder and then you link it to the JS folder, and I'll show you later on how that works. Once we link it to that, then it's almost good to go. Actually, it is good to go. You don't have to do anything else because the CSS automatically links to the fonts folder. So we don't have to link the fonts folder to the HTML directly. CSS is going to take care of that. It's going to pull that information from the fonts folder. So this is the simple structure on how it is. Let me just recap again on what we went through right now. When you download Bootstrap, you're going to get a distribution folder. And inside the distribution folder, you're going to have 3 folders. Depending on, if they might change it in the future, but that's what it is now. You're going to get the fonts, the CSS, and the JS. Inside the fonts, you're going to have the glyphicons, the icons. Inside the CSS, you're going to have the main styles, bootstrap.css. That file includes all the classes that we are going to be using. And the JS folder is going to include all the JavaScript functions that we are going to be using in our Bootstrap project. And then we use a HTML document or application, and we link those by including a link tag and linking to that CSS folder, and then we use a script tag to link to the JS folder. Hopefully this was clear enough for you, and it offered you some type of good explanation. That way you can have a very more solid foundation about what is it that we are trying to accomplish when we are using Bootstrap. But anyway, I'm going to actually go further into this when we start applying it in a real world situation. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.